Welcome to another episode of A Conversation in Isolation with Sonia Rossi, the first episode of 2021. I hope everyone had a wonderful start to this new year after a difficult year last year, and you've had a good break. It's Sunday morning in Sydney, and it's quite hot. We're going through a little bit of a heat wave, so we'll see how we go today, this Sunday morning. I'm very excited to be live again, and today we're going to connect with a very special guest who lives on a beautiful island very far from Australia. So I hope everyone is doing well. Let me know how you're going, and welcome to my live Instagram, which will also be uploaded on YouTube and Spotify. So let's see if I can get him in. His name is Josh, and he is called The Brody on Instagram. He lives in Trinidad and Tobago, which beautiful country I've never been to, but I've heard a lot about it. Let's see if he can get him in. I'm having coffee because it's Sunday morning. What are you guys all drinking this morning or this evening? Depends where you are. Let me know where you are. I'm quite curious. Okay. So Josh will be coming in shortly. Let me see if I can invite him again. Now tell me, what did you get up to over the New Year? How was your New Year's Eve? Because I know a lot of countries are still going through lockdown and isolation around the world. So I think that New Year celebrations have been quite different this year, much quieter, especially in Australia, for example. We weren't allowed to see the fireworks in person, so we had to see them. We could watch them on television, let's say. Okay. And okay, let's see. Josh is ready. Just inviting him in. Oh, there he is. Hi.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
How are you?
I am good. I am good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Welcome to my Instagram live.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's great to meet you virtually, right? Because tell me, Josh, what have you been up to today? I know it's evening for you, Saturday evening.
It's actually Saturday night. It's like around 7 p.m. right now. My day was good. I was mostly helping mommy with like cooking and stuff today, and not too long come back from playing basketball. So yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to all our Instagram followers. So you love basketball. I see that you post a lot of videos about basketball.
Yes, I love that sport. Good night, everyone.
Hi, guys. So I'm in Sydney, Australia, and it's Sunday morning here.
Okay.
So we're in a very different time zone.
Yeah.
And what's the weather like there? Because we're going through a bit of a heat wave in Sydney at the moment, so it's quite hot. Okay. What's it like there?
It was pretty sunny for the majority of the day. You know, probably a slight portion of rain, but like not much. But it's been pretty sunny. It hasn't made too hot, but just a little bit.
Oh, okay. And which part of so you live in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes.
Which part do you live in? Do you live in the capital, or?
I actually live down more on like the countryside, you would say. More like.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, more like the south side of Trinidad. They wouldn't consider they're the capital, per se. because that is like more on like the north side of Trinidad. I live more to the south side of Trinidad. So you consider that all like the countryside of Trinidad.
Countryside. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm very curious to hear more about your life there, because I've never been, and I've seen photos, and it's absolutely beautiful. Have you been to Australia before?
No, I haven't, but I want to go there one day. I have seen pictures. I've seen a lot
Yeah,
of pictures.
we'd love to have you here. So, guys, in this podcast, I like to interview people around the world to see how they're going through. Obviously, we're in 2021, so in some countries, the COVID situation is getting better, but in others, you know, it's still going through lockdowns and isolation. So my goal is to see how people get through these different times and different difficult times, especially last year, I think, was very bad. So welcome. I think you've got some friends joining.
Yeah. A lot of my friends from Trinidad joining me. They are most present in the
Cool. Nice. So, Josh, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you. Who are you?
Okay. Well, as you would know, and most of the people inside of this life is know, my name is Josh Clement. I come from the very small country of Trinidad and Tobago. I am 21 years of age. My interest is in basketball, the sea, science, biology.
Wow.
I like spending time outside. I love the water. I love the beach. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm pursuing undergraduate degree in biology and environmental science. I'm a very
Wonderful.
outgoing fella. I love to laugh, love to joke. You could ask anybody in the comments right now. You know, I like to entertain people. I like to entertain people when I'm
That's
ready.
great.
Very humble.
That's great.
Very humble, and I just love to interact with people and have conversations and just connect on a social level. So yeah, that's a little bit of
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Well, you're studying a very interesting subject. Is it marine biology?
Yeah.
You said. What's your favorite part of your studies? What has been the most interesting thing that you've discovered so far?
Wow, that's a good question. For me personally, the most interesting thing came last semester when I was when I was doing a certain course called evolutionary biology, and it was essentially teaching us like about how things adapted from like the beginning of time to now, and how different organisms were able to change themselves and their behaviors and patterns and to adjust the environment. And it's somewhat like how us humans do it. It just takes a way longer time that, you know, environment change, situation change, and we all have to adapt in life. And that, for me, that was really relatable, and it was really fun to see because we went through like a whole array of different animals and organisms, and it was just fun to actually see them and see like the whole time frame and how they adapted to different situations. It was really cool to me.
Yeah.
So far, that has been the most interesting thing to me. Good night, everyone.
That's fantastic. Hi, guys. That's fascinating because we don't really, unless we look into it, we don't really know, do we, about this kind of thing? We don't really hear about it. Yeah. We can watch documentaries and things, but it's not the same thing, really. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Well, by the way, have you seen, I know this has nothing to do with it, but the documentary on Netflix about that beautiful octopus? Have you seen that?
I have.
Talking about marine.
One thing, I started it, but I had to do something. I still have to finish it, but I did start it. It was really interesting for me, though. Yeah,
the relationship with this man who was going, especially to meet this octopus. I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Okay. So, Josh, what's the situation like COVID-wise there at the moment?
Okay. At the moment, currently it has been trending downwards. It has been getting a little better. But as of yesterday, we confirmed the first case of the new COVID strain that originated in the UK. We got our first case in Trinidad yesterday, I believe. Yesterday or the day before. But
oh, man.
it hasn't been much, to say panic or major adjustments because of that one case. But at the moment, it's been, currently going down steadily.
Okay,
It's getting a
that's
bit
good.
better. It's getting a bit better. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I love your what's it called, a bandana on your
A
head?
durag.
What's it?
It's called a durag. A durag.
Dura. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got this from my
Great.
cousin.
So
So, yeah.
it's cool. Do you have long hair?
No, no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't. This is very flat. And I have no long hair.
Keeps you nice and cool.
Yeah,
So so last year, I remember. Look, I met you on a live with Coach Jay
yeah,
last year, and I was inspired. I said I have to meet this guy because you just seem so relaxed and cool, you know. So I thought I'm going to meet this guy one day. Tell me a little bit about last year. And I remember on the live you talked about going through a very long lockdown last year, months and something, months and months.
yeah.
What was that like
To
for
be
you?
honest, with you, it was tough.
Yeah,
It was really tough, especially at the beginning, not knowing, if I would have been alive, because it was when it first came in Trinidad, it was one case, and then it was an imported case, and everybody wasn't panicking per se, but then probably
yeah,
like around 2 or 3 months after, it started to become a community spread, and the country essentially went into like panic mode where everything went under lockdown and nobody
yeah,
couldn't come out the house, and you know it was tough for me because I was in school at the moment, and I was now,
yeah,
how to say, like getting accustomed to like college and just the whole social life, and starting to make new friends and just getting accustomed to
yeah,
that life, and I just had to go straight back home down south, and it was tough to just adjust to stay by myself because everybody that know me here, I just like to talk and interact with people, and just being inside
yeah,
took a good mental toll on me, just not being able to like talk to other people and interact with other people and friends, rather than just stay home here and interact with like my family per se. It was tough for a while, but
yeah,
um, gradually, as I started to, you know, try to come out of that mental state, I started to talk more with my friends online, and then, you know, get closer with like my mom that stays with me at home here. Just talk more, and then
oh,
um,
that's good.
during this time, during like the beginning stages of COVID to the whole lockdown, I started to gain a lot of weight. To be honest with you, I was eating terrible. I just didn't know what to do. I
Oh,
didn't have anything else to do
right, right,
but like eat. So when I started to come out of that phase, I started to like work out and exercise more. All I can get to go and play basketball, outside,
yeah,
I could just simply go, outside my yard and try to, get some exercise and thing, and just getting back into that groove. I just trying to make
yeah,
things as normal as it could for me was very big for
right,
me, and that kind of helped me come out of that, like, I wouldn't say depression because I wasn't depressed. I wasn't depressed per se, but it was just tough
hmm,
mentally and physically to just stay as energetic as I usually would, just during the whole time. So
yeah,
I mean
wow,
that helped me a lot. Just trying to fight myself out of that mental phase during that whole COVID thing. It helped me a lot to just get back more to myself and who I truly am. To just be more of
yes,
myself and that kind of thing. So yeah.
wow. So you went through a bit of a let's say difficult time, and then you managed to
Yes.
start to get out of it a little bit. Yeah, it
Right.
must have been very hard
It,
mentally because you were just getting into uni and meeting people and
yeah. Yeah.
studying, and then you had to go back home. I can imagine
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it got
pretty
really
full on.
repetitive because I would just get up, and it's like I just home, I just seeing the same wall, the same table, the same kitchen, just like every single day, I just seeing the same thing.
Yeah,
And just as humans, they would just want something different. At some point, they would just want
absolutely.
something different, and it was really starting to play with me mentally and physically, and I just had to fight myself out of it. Otherwise, I would have gone crazy. To be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Did, did social media help you a little bit? Instagram, following other people's lives, did that help you a little bit with interacting with people around the world? And
Um, it's like 50-50 for me. because as everybody would know, during this whole lockdown period in 2020, it had, you know, a lot of things going on with the world in terms of the Black Lives Movement thing, and, you know, just a whole lot of negative events. And, you know, social media would just, you know, heighten that and make it everything on social media. And seeing that was real hard for me, like going on social media every day and just seeing that, especially with the killing of George Floyd, and just seeing, you know, all the stuff that came out of it, and how, you know, the whole world was just in madness at a point in time. It was hard. But then, as he was referring to seeing people like Coach J, and just that whole community of people that was just so positive and happy, and just trying to find the good and find the light in all the darkness, was really inspiring to me, to keep me, you know, grounded in a sense, to try to at least not take on all the negative stuff that's going on in the world, and try to look at some of the good things that are going on, so I could get back towards myself and just get back socially in some space with people like you all and that whole community. It did a lot for me, just to see somebody that was, you know, just sharing a smile and pushing me to do workouts and things. And I don't even know him personally. I never met him physically before. And
that's right. Me neither.
Yeah, and he would just push me physically to do like workouts and that kind of thing. It was really inspiring. So I would say it was 50-50, because I'm young. Obviously, I would follow a lot of stuff that culturally is trending and going on in the world and in the country, in my country. And at that, like, especially in the beginning of COVID stages, like, say, like, from, like, March to, like, around June, where it was just a whole lot of negative stuff going on in the world, and a whole lot of fighting back and trying to do good. It was hard. But then, say, like, from June to probably, like, August, September, when, you know, things was starting to get a bit normalized and started to decrease, it got a little bit better for me, especially with Coach J too, as I was saying, just trying to find some good in all the darkness and the negativity. So, yeah.
Wow, Josh, that's amazing. Yes, that community really helped to bring a lot of light, because it felt like everything was on fire last year as well. You mentioned the Black Lives Movement and social media. Everything was heightened, so it was hard to find positivity online, I think, last year especially. That's good.
Yeah.
He was great, because with his lives, he managed to make a lot of people smile and encourage, especially with his workouts and his advice.
Yes.
And for all of us around the world, I mean, we don't know each other in person, but we all connected somehow through his message. That's great. And what would you say you have learned during last year, during all these horrible lockdowns, or is there anything in particular you've learned?
I've learned a few things.
Okay.
One is that I've seen, not just for me, but for the majority of the world, that a lot of stuff that we think we need to survive and stay alive, we really didn't need the same. We just wanted it as humans. Because when the lockdown was going on, we could have only got essential stuff, like go to the grocery and just get food, water, just essential stuff. And most of the stuff that we thought that was like we needed to like be alive, it wasn't really all that essential to me. And just seeing that made me appreciate life a little bit more and not look at it so complex and wanting this and wanting that, and just made me feel like, you know, I just need like the smallest set of things to be happy within myself. That was one thing that I learned. Another thing that I learned too is patience. A whole lot of patience, because there's so much of things I wanted to do, especially in college.
Right.
And because of the lockdown, I couldn't really do it. Because I wanted to join a few clubs and the basketball team. And all of that, and, you know, just practicing patience during that whole time, because it's like you really wanted it, but you have to know when is your time and when is not your time, and when to like go for something and when not to go for something. And I just really learned just to like stay back and wait for my time, because it would come eventually. And just learning how to to stay patient during that situation was big for me.
Wow.
Another thing that I learned about myself is that I really like to talk. I mean, generally I knew that, but especially more when I had a lot of time by myself and I was like reading what was going on in the world and talking to other people. It's like
Yeah.
I didn't want to have like casual conversations most of the time. I really wanted to like talk about topics. That's why I started the podcast, and I really just like wanted to talk about topics and just give my opinion to the
Yeah.
world essentially. Whether you like it or not, I just want to give my respectful opinion to the world and see how that goes. Because I just talking is one of the biggest therapy for me because
Yeah.
it
Right.
gets out all my emotions and how I feel about stuff, and it's relaxing to me, to be honest, just to like talk to people, sometimes talk to myself and that kind of thing. So yeah,
Why not?
that is like the main lessons I've learned in 2020, and
Yeah.
to appreciate life even more, because
Okay.
just because so many people lost their life to this dreadful pandemic, and seeing I mean, for me personally, I haven't
Yeah.
lost anybody close to COVID, but I know people
Thank
that have
goodness.
lost people to COVID, and
Oh
it wasn't a nice feeling at all. And just seeing that made
no.
me appreciate life way more than I used to be honest. It made me appreciate life even more. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I think appreciating life is learning how to appreciate life and the simple things, as you said, is a very good lesson for us, even to bring with us. When COVID's over, one day will be over. I hope so. We can
One day,
get back to our normal lives.
I really pray for that day. Trust me.
Yeah. So, Josh, you mentioned your podcast, and I listened to one of your episodes. Tell us a little bit about that. How's that podcast going? And what's it about?
Um, the name of the podcast is Life Keys.
Life keys.
Why I started it
Beautiful.
is because I've always found podcasts in general to be something really interesting, and just I love hearing other people's perspective and opinions on everything, whether it be life, whether it be a certain aspect of life. I just like hearing other people's opinion because I'm not the only one living in this world essentially. And when I started to listen to it, and I really started to like it, and then it was like an everyday thing becoming into my routine. I just listening to podcasts, and as I told you before, I realized like I really like to talk during the time too, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like I have a good enough handle on life so far for me. Although I'm 21 years and I haven't really lived a long life per se, but I have
Right.
experiences in life and I have learned stuff from life. And I feel that sharing this story with somebody, they could at least relate, be inspired, be motivated, be
Yeah.
get some sort of therapy from it. And I just like helping people in general now. And I think the main purpose was for that, to just give off that type of energy towards people and hope that they receive it in that way. For me, hopefully, to inspire others to just do better in life and learn from my experiences, or
Beautiful.
just relate, because it have so much of stuff that people feel that they buy themselves. And I felt like that for a lot of time until I started to talk to other people, and I realized, you know what, I'm not the only one that is go through certain situations in life that might be hard or might be tough and that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
realized that I could relate to other people, and then just the simple thing of sharing your story and sharing experiences does be real good when other people listen to them. Because
Absolutely.
for me personally, I love when I could relate to people. Like I know
Yeah.
what they went through. Like I know that situation, what they went through. I went through something similar towards that, and it helps
Yeah.
to come to like some sort of solution to do better and be better. And that was like the main reason why I started the podcast. And right now I haven't released an episode in probably like a month and a half. And I plan to
Okay.
right now I plan to start it back. It stopped because school got a lot of my time. School
Yeah,
got a lot of my
been
time,
busy.
and it was tough to like just keep it going while focusing on school. But ever since the year
Oh
started,
yeah,
I've been putting plans in place to actually start it back and to actually have it on a bigger platform so that it'll be more easily accessible to the casual listener now. Because I've talked to
okay.
people and it was like SoundCloud was a little bit tough to access it because not everybody have it, and
Oh,
it's
I
not
see.
like
Okay.
it's not like a big platform for like where most people could go and listen it to. So right now I'm working on making it video and audio, and most likely
Hmm.
I'm working with like other people to have it on like podcast apps like Apple or Spotify and hopefully
Yeah,
YouTube one day. So yeah, that for
that's
me,
great.
I just want to get my message out there to inspire somebody to be better and to do better in life, no matter how hard it may get. Because I could relate to somebody that have it hard in life. I mightn't have it as hard as other people, or some people mightn't have it as hard as me, but I could still relate
Yeah,
to somebody. I could still talk to you. I'm still a normal
yeah.
person. I'm not above anybody else or below anybody else. We're all the human beings and we all go through stuff. So that was like the main purpose of the podcast for me.
That's beautiful. And I think, as you said, you're young, but you've had a lot of experiences. You've been through a lot. So age is
Yes,
just a number, right? The experiences form you, and
correct.
you can give advice too. You're wise as well. Age is just a number. Believe me. It's all about
Uh-huh.
your mental, your mind frame, your mindset. I think, and
Yes,
how you're feeling. And obviously, the podcast is. Um, it goes into topics a bit more deeply. It's not superficial, right? It's quite a good discussion that you have
yes,
with guests. I think you invite people onto it as well, right? To talk
yes.
about things. Yeah. I love the name Life Keys. That's really
Yeah,
beautiful. Life
yeah. I was trying to think of something like
Keys to life.
extraordinary different, and I was like, you know what? I'm a very simplistic person, and I was like, you know what? Is life I want to talk about on the podcast specifically, and I feel like everyone have keys in their life that they've learned on their journey of life and going through situation.
Yeah.
Everybody picked up keys and lessons that they would take for them forever and apply it to their life. So I was just you know what, life keys. I'll just keep it simple to the point.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's short, but it's memorable. That's the thing about giving names to these kind of things. I mean,
yeah.
my podcast, Conversation Isolation, is a bit long, but it's
No,
catchy,
it's
I
so
hope.
simple. It's so simple. It's so simple to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Would you say, Josh, that you're quite spiritual? Would you say you're a spiritual person?
Yes. Yes, and I've learned that even more during the pandemic coming into this year too, that I really can't depend on my own self to try to do better every day because I'm a Christian and I'm not, bashing down on anybody's relationship, but I believe that my strength comes from God. And if I don't depend on Him, then I wouldn't be anything. So trying to do
Mm.
things myself is essentially useless. And I try to feed that spiritual side each and every day. Now, I'm not the perfect person. I'm far from perfect. At times I drop, at times I don't pray, at times I don't read the Bible. But if it's one thing about me, I will always try. I will always try. I might forget sometimes, but I'll always pick up myself mentally and try to get back to that spiritual side because it has been a big part of me. And
Mhm.
I've seen him work in my life in many ways. And I can't just say that, I'm just leaving that faith and just going on life by myself because it wouldn't make any sense to me. I might have been dead at this point, to be very honest with you. So
Wow.
I try to grow myself in every aspect, and spiritually is one of the biggest ones for me. Just trying to
Wow.
develop my relationship with God and trying to pray and
Mm.
depend and have faith going through each and every day is a big thing for me, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I have a feeling that you're a good friend to your friends there. I have this feeling.
Huh?
Is that true? You're a good friend to your group there in Trinidad.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody that you ask, they would say I'm a pretty good friend. I'm a pretty good friend. I always try to be there for people. I always try to to support my friends to the fullest, because
Yeah.
I do things unconditionally and without any remorse or malice or hate or jealousy towards anybody. I just try to help and support everybody that I know, friends, family, people that are close to me. You know, I wouldn't try to big
Yeah.
up myself in any kind of way, because I'm very humble at the end of the day. But, you know, I always try to support my friends and be there for them as much as I could. And many of them could attest to that. So, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Wonderful. So, Josh, are you working on any special projects or plans for this 2021? I know you have your podcast. You have some ideas for that. Are you working on anything else at the moment?
Right now, for this year, for me personally, I really want to dedicate this year to really try to work on myself and focus on myself a whole lot in every aspect, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
I really want to do that. And also one project that I'm kind of conceptualizing right now and talking with one of the persons, that I have a friend that does YouTube. He's go by the name of Casey. He wants to do a joint podcast together about trending topics and culture in Trinidad now. And that is one of the things that I like to talk about too. And he has a big passion for like doing that, and he loves to entertain. He's really funny, and he loves to entertain and stuff. And we've been friends since like primary school, since we were like probably like
cool.
10 and 11, probably like 8, 9, yeah, like around there. And
yeah.
So we're working on some stuff to actually start that podcast. I don't know what we're going to name it, but we're still talking about it. But it's something for sure that will happen. It's something for sure that will happen, and I'm really excited about it, because
it's amazing.
I feel like people would see more of my funny kind of goofy personality with that podcast instead of life keys, because I am funny at times, but I be really mellow and humble and just try to talk as cool as possible in my podcast. But I feel like if I do that, people would see more of my personality and me laughing and the goofy, entertaining side of Josh. So yeah, that's one of the biggest projects I'm working on so far. So yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
So that will be was that be on YouTube? You were saying probably, or your friend has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he said most likely it'll be on YouTube, and then he says it has a I can't remember the name, but he says that it has another app that he wants to record the podcast on and post it there. But I'm not sure. Cool. I'm not sure, but we're still working out the little kinks and thing before we actually get up and running. So yeah.
That's exciting. Well, we look forward to hearing more about that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Welcome to everyone joining our live today. This is great. And obviously your podcast, when you post, I'll be listening to more episodes.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready.
For sure. Hopefully, I'm really looking to start back in February. I'm really
okay.
I'm looking to start back in.
Yeah, I think January is a bit of a funny month, because it's the first month of the year. Everyone's might have had a break over Christmas and getting ready for the new year. It takes a bit of time to get into this new phase, I think. That's right. I'd like to do more episodes of this. I just need to get myself a bit more organized. I've been a bit slow with it.
I feel it for sure. I understand.
Yeah. So Josh, what kind of message would you give listeners on Instagram or YouTube and Spotify who are living in a lockdown now again, and it might be their second or their third? I know the UK is going through a very strong lockdown. Yeah. The States, I'm not sure, but there's some countries in Europe that are doing it rough at the moment. Mm-hmm. What kind of message would you give these people? Because it's very hard again to go through that stage. You've done it once and then again, to keep yourself mentally positive. What would you tell them? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good question, because it's different for each country, and I don't know how many countries are listening right now. For me, I would tell the average person that is going through whatever type of lockdown it would be, is that everything starts within the mind, to be very honest. I know it might be hard to
Yeah.
see stuff physically and operate physically, but making that choice each and every time you get up mentally to say to yourself that I am not going to let this get to me to the point where I am out of myself. Just making that choice mentally every single
Mm.
day, and even if it's not every single day, just try to do it as consistently as possible. To just say to
Yeah.
yourself that this is not going to get the better of me. Eventually, that would translate into you doing stuff physically that would help you not to be mentally depressed or just mentally unstable from this whole lockdown thing. And the other thing I would say too is that do stuff as far as you could do it in your space and your premises and your house, whichever part you're having that lockdown.
Yeah.
Do stuff that
Yeah.
you love. Please, I stress that a whole lot. Whatever that is, just do stuff that you love to do. One of the things for me
That's
that helped me a lot was watching basketball. Although it was done for a while, but watching basketball and just playing basketball did a lot for my mental health during that whole time. Because I just love the game and
wow.
just doing something that I love just kind of grounded me a whole lot to be as stable and normal as possible during this whole lockdown period. And I'm still going through it partly right
Yeah.
now because we're still in a lockdown essentially. Although most places are open,
Oh.
movement is still very limited. You wouldn't see a whole lot of
Oh, I
people.
see. Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't see a whole lot of people in like the towns and that kind of thing. But people are free to move essentially in our country right now. But
That's good.
um, I would tell people just make that mental decision as consistently as possible to try to not let it get to you and just go back to stuff that you love to do. Whether it be watching games, drinking water, going outside and doing something, listening to music, whatever it may be, just
Yeah.
do things that you love to do. If it has to do with something, that you might have to go and interact with other people and you can't, try to do it by yourself. Because
Right.
it would
Good advice.
keep you grounded to the person that you are. Because I feel like
Yeah.
that's this whole period of this pandemic and this lockdown and people, you know, being locked in their houses, it really took them away from themselves. Like
Yes, that's true,
people
right?
didn't realize like how much of themselves they were losing just being home and just letting this whole thing take over their minds. And
Yeah.
I feel like doing stuff that you love really keep you grounded to being yourself. Because that was the most thing. That was the thing for me. Just trying to be myself during this whole time really helped me, so that I wouldn't go crazy or mentally mad during this whole time.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So
You're
yeah,
right. It's taken. I agree completely. You said it's taken us out of our normal lifestyle. So it can be easy to kind of forget what you love doing and go into a state of like, boredom and depression and
yeah,
it's easier. But just try and, as you said, focus on in the morning when you get up, doing something you love. I think it's great advice.
yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Whatever that is for you, whatever that is for you, you do it. Once it's not causing harm to anybody else, surely that's it.
Yeah. Discovering again, like, I mean, basketball as well, sports or any activity, virtual, even doing things online, like
Yeah,
yoga or whatever you love. Try and find another way of doing it if you're stuck at home. I think
yeah,
that's good advice. Definitely. Nowadays, so much is online anyway, so
exactly,
courses and you can
exactly.
study anything, really.
Exactly. Almost everything is online. Although
Yeah.
most people don't really like that whole thing about everything being online because there's a lot of people that really love being
Yeah.
individual and physically they're doing stuff.
Of course,
But
it's
you have
better.
to
That would be
adjust
better.
it
Yeah.
to your situation that you're in right now. We can't do anything about this pandemic right now. We really can't. So
No.
just adjusting yourself to being more acclimated with using devices and being online to do stuff that you love would help you a whole lot. Although you can't go out physically
Absolutely.
because for me, I'm a really big physical guy. Like I've gotten accustomed to
Yeah.
the internet and being online using laptops, devices, so but I like doing stuff in person. I like going outside and that kind of thing. But we have to adjust
Yeah.
as human. We have to adjust. We can't do anything about it right now. It's out of our
No,
control. We just have to adjust.
that's right.
So, yeah.
That's right. Josh, thank you so much for this chat. I'm really excited to meet you live. It's been fantastic. Uh, Before I let you go, can you tell us something? I just thought of something about Trinidad that people might not know around the world as listeners come from all over the world. What's one interesting thing about your country that we don't know?
That y'all don't know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
That's not, I have to think about this. I have to think about this.
Okay.
Um, okay, I'll try to say a few things. I feel like some people may know and some people may not.
Okay.
One of the things I found that a lot of foreign people that come down here realize that is a bit different, a whole lot different in Trinidad. Is that we as we grow up and become adults in Trinidad, and we start to build our own lives and career and stuff, we as people tend to build our own houses. Like anytime we get the chance, we get land and build our own houses. I realize that a lot of people
Okay.
away would rather buy houses and get into like real estate and that kind of thing. We as Trinidadians, we are so adamant about building our own houses and getting our own land and just trying to design everything for ourselves. That is one.
Wow. That is interesting. I mean, not many people do that.
Yeah, a lot of Trinidadians once it's financially stable for us to do it, we would do it 100% because it saves a lot of taxes and costs and a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
I think we as Trinidadians, that some people may not know, is that we're really friendly and we are very funny, I would say. I feel like a lot of people really know Trinidadians as being funny people. I feel like they know Trinidadians who just like soca music and probably carnival and that kind of thing. But we some of the most friendliest people in the world. Although like if you get us on our bad side, it'll get kind of bad. But like once we're good, we are good people generally.
That's great.
We are really good, fun, loving people. So yeah, I think
beautiful.
that would be some things that not everybody may know about Trinidad. So
yeah, thank you for that. That's beautiful. What kind of animals do you have over there? What kind of because in Australia we have a lot of crazy animals here that are just unique to Australia. Are there any animals over there that you can only find in Trinidad?
That's a tough question. I wouldn't say
like wild, right? Wild animals.
As far as my knowledge is right now, I'm not sure if there's an animal that is just native to Trinidad right now. I think there is one, but I can't remember the name. But I will tell you this. There's two specific animals that we hunt a lot in Trinidad to eat and to also it's the iguana and the agouti. If you ask most Trinidadians that, they love that animal. Love that animal. To cook, to eat, to hunt, to sell.
Wow.
It's a big thing in Trinidad. Hunting is one of the biggest things in Trinidad. So
I see.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Well, Josh, thank you so much for your time and saying hello to all the listeners that have joined. I noticed a lot of people came in.
Yes.
Hi, guys. Yes. Thank you so much, and I look forward to keeping in touch and seeing what you're going to get up to this year. Yeah. And I wish all the best for your projects and your studies as well as you keep going with that.
Thank you so much for this opportunity as well. I really appreciate it. I know this has been a while in the working because I know you messaged me way back when I was on the live with Coach G.
That's fine.
I really appreciate this opportunity too. As I told you before, I love to talk and interact with people, and this was really fun and refreshing to do because it's been a while that I actually been live on Instagram too, with like
Oh,
my
great.
audience and that kind of thing too. So I appreciate you.
I'm happy to hear that. That's great. Well, we'll keep in touch and let me know how you're going with everything. And I hope that COVID improves in Trinidad as well, and you guys can all get back to your normal busy lifestyles and schedules and everything and activities.
I hope it improves in Australia too, and I wish you all the best as well. There too, and I'm also looking forward to your lives and your podcast too, and just tuning in and seeing how it goes and that kind of thing.
Thanks, Josh. So you can find Josh on the underscore Brody, and I'll be posting his information. Keep an eye on him because he's going to get up to a lot of interesting things this year. I can feel it.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Well, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll keep in touch.
Yes, you too. Okay. Enjoy.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Okay. Thanks, guys. That was really, really fun to meet Josh in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'll be posting the video also on YouTube and the audio on Spotify for you guys to follow. Thanks so much. We'll be in touch and see you soon on Conversation and Isolation.